Number 41. This is statistics and probability. We're trying to figure out the median. For 20 quiz scores in a typing class, the table below gives the frequency of the scores in each score interval. Which score interval contains the median of the scores? If there are 20 quiz scores, that means that the 10th and the 11th are the two numbers that we have to take the average of to get the median. That's the midpoint right there. We can then look at the frequency to see where the 10th and 11th quiz scores come out. We can just add these numbers. 3 plus 1 plus 3, that's 7, plus 4 is 11. So quiz scores 10 and 11 will be right here. They'll be in the interval 81 to 85. The answer here is D. Notice we could have done it the other way. We could have started at the bottom, and we want to get the 10th and 11th. We know that 9 are in here, 10 and 11 are going to be there. Number 42, this is a number and quantity question. We're working with imaginary numbers. In the complex numbers, where I squared is -1, 1 over 1 plus I times 1 minus I over 1 minus I equals. Let's write it out. Now you might be thinking that this is a weird question because 1 minus I over 1 minus I should just cancel each other out and we get 1 over 1 plus I. But that is not in the answer choices. Instead, what they're asking you to do is multiply across. So this will be 1 times 1 minus I. This will be 1 plus I times 1 minus I. The 1 times 1 minus I means 1 minus I is going to be in the numerator. That means it's not going to be that one, it's not going to be that one, it's not going to be that one. It's either going to be 1 minus I over 1, which gives you H, or 1 minus I over 2, which gives you J. Here on the bottom, we have to FOIL. These are two binomials being multiplied to each other, and you can see that they take this form, the difference of squares. That's a squared minus b squared. The middle terms cancel out, and in the same way, the middle terms here will cancel out. And what this really is, well, we'll do the entire FOIL. This is 1 times 1, 1, plus, that was 1 times 1, 1 times negative I, so that's plus negative I, and then inner 1 times I plus I, and then I times negative I minus I squared. So the minus I and the plus I, they cancel out, and all we have is 1 minus I squared. So this is 1 minus I over 1 minus I squared. But they tell us that I squared is -1. So this is really 1 minus -1. 1 minus -1 is 1 plus 1, which is 2. Thus, 1 minus I over 2 is our answer. The answer is J. Number 43, this is an algebra question. We're working with systems of equations. Temperatures measured in degrees Fahrenheit F are related to temperatures measured in degrees Celsius C by the formula F equals 9/5 C plus 32. There's one value of X for which X degrees Fahrenheit equals X degrees Celsius. What is that value? Let's write it out. F equals 9/5 C plus 32. And here it says that there's one value of X for which X degrees Fahrenheit equals X degrees Celsius. That just means that there's 1 degree in Fahrenheit that's going to equal the same degrees in Celsius. What is that value? Here we have two equations, two variables. We can substitute either the C into the F, or we can substitute the F into the C. It really doesn't matter. I'm going to substitute the C into this F. So this is C equals 9/5 C plus 32. Now we want to put the C's onto the same side, so I'm going to subtract this over here. So that's really 1C minus 9/5 C. So 1C minus 9/5 C equals 32. I'm going to change that 1 to 5 over 5. So that's really 5/5 C minus 9/5 C. That's 5 minus 9, that's -4 over 5. C equals 32. Now we can multiply this fraction, or we can multiply the reciprocal of this fraction onto the other side, times -5/4. That cancels everything out here, and we have C by itself. 32 times -5/4. I'm going to reduce first 1 and 8. That's 8 times -5 is -40. This is our answer. B. Number 44 is a function question. We're dealing with proportionality or direct proportionality. The table below gives experimental data values for variables x and y. Theory predicts that y varies directly with x. Based on the experimental data, which of the following values is closest to the constant of variation? Note, the variable y varies directly with the variable x, provided that y equals kx for some non-zero constant k, called the constant of variation. Now, all of this may sound complex and confusing, but all you need to note is the formula that they give you. Y equals kx. They give you x's, they give you y's. What is the k? What is the constant of variation? That is what they're asking for, the constant variation k. This is as simple as plugging in each of these answer choices into the k given x and y values to see which one makes sense. Let's just take a look at this one right here. When x is 8.5, y is 0.425. So y is 0.425 when x is 8.5 multiplied by k. What is that k? Well, if x is 8 and it's becoming some number less than 1 by multiplying it to k, that means k has to be a really small number. It has to be less than 1. That means it's not those numbers. And it's not negative because it's not becoming negative when you multiply k to 8.5. The answer here is G, and you can test it. Do 0.05 times 8.5 and see what you get. You will get 0.425. Number 45, this is geometry. Here it's testing whether you know your slope-intercept form and how that relates to its graph on the coordinate plane. During a snowstorm, the relationship between the depth of accumulated snow y, inches, and the elapsed time x hours was modeled by the equation 2x minus 5y equals negative 5. One of the following graphs in the standard xy coordinate plane models the equation for positive values of x and y. Which one? Let's write out that given equation, and what we're going to do is solve for y, meaning we want to put it into slope-intercept form. I'm going to bring the y this way and bring the negative 5 this way. That means that's 2x plus 5, and then the y, that negative 5y turns into a 5y, and then we're going to divide by 5. This becomes y equals 2/5 x plus 1. This is your y-intercept. This is your slope. So it has to have a positive slope. All of these have positive slopes, but it has a slope of 2/5. And it has a y-intercept at 1. That means D is not our answer. A might be our answer, B might be our answer, E is not our answer, and C is not our answer either because it has to be hitting at 1. Now we can just take a look at A and B and we know which one is the right answer because 2/5 is a fraction. It's less than 1. That means that slope is going to be flat. If it's greater than 1, that means it's going to be steep. So flat for something less than 1, which looks like this one. This one definitely looks like something greater than 1. The answer here is A, and we can test it because 2/5. Slope of 2/5 means that you are increasing by 2 every time you go 5 units laterally. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A is our answer. Thanks for watching. For all the latest videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also find us at justiceprep.com, or you can like us on Facebook and Instagram.